The Players Club New Mexico here at the U Sports Report, where we give you the breakdown of players in the world of sports who caught our eye and have piqued our interest. Mine is going to be pretty simple. Michael Bennett, defensive end from the Seattle Seahawks. Look, every year in the NFL, you have players who are unhappy with their contract, feel that they've outperformed their contract in what they do. These guys want to get the money that they're owed. Normally what happens is this player holds out. But that hurts the team and it hurts the player. Player holds out, they miss training camp, they miss everything. And that is tough because they come back not being in training camp, not being in football shape, and they get hurt. But Michael Bennett says he's not going to do that because he doesn't want to hurt his team because they believe they can make a run to get back to another Super Bowl. And he had some thoughts on Sam Bradford. You may have heard Sam Bradford, quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, signed an extension for $40 million for the next 2 years. Then the Eagles subsequently went out and acquired the second overall pick in the NFL draft, where they picked quarterback out of South Dakota State, Mr. Carson Wentz, and they felt that, hey, this is our quarterback of the future. Sam Bradford didn't like that too much.
No.
He was quite upset.
He was
and he
not
had
happy.
some things. He demanded a trade, and then he said he was going to hold out, and now he's back. This inconsistency creates nothing but havoc in the locker room for the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is what Mr. Bennett had to say about that situation. Quote, "I listened to Sam Bradford again. I just almost threw up. I can't believe Sam Bradford is complaining about making $40 million in the next 2 years, and because he actually has to compete for a position, this guy right here definitely sets a bad tone for what a player should be," end quote. And also, to second that up, he said, "If I was his teammate, how can you play with a guy that doesn't want to compete at a high level and feels like his position should be solidified without even putting up stats or the wins to back that up?" That's going to create some turmoil in the Philadelphia Eagles locker room and their quarterback room. And look, I like what Mr. Bennett has to say. He's like, hey, everybody in the NFL has to compete for their position year in and year out. Sam Bradford, you are no different. And the last time Sam Bradford was really relevant as an excellent elite quarterback, he was playing for Oklahoma Sooners.
Yeah, you know, I have a great deal of respect for Michael Bennett in this situation because it does really frustrate teams, fans, players, everybody all around the NFL when somebody holds out for that bigger contract. Yeah, you might have done bigger, better things, but show us again what you can do. Do that on the down low with your team. Deal with your managers the way that you should. It's a business.
That's right.
You can't come at it like that, and that's childish and it's selfish. It makes everybody else look bad, and it really sets your team up for difficulty.
That's right. That's right. There is no I in team, and we'll see if Sam Bradford could get to the point. But Mr. Bennett, we like the way you think. Go for it. You were my Players Club choice.
All right, my Players Club choice, Zach Mettenberger. So instead of just coming at you guys with some stats, I have an actual really personal story about Zach Mettenberger. So my dad used to work with the Butler Athletics Department, and as many of you guys know, Zach went to Georgia first, got kicked out for some things off the field, went to Butler for a short time before coming to LSU. So my dad's friend got to meet Zach Mettenberger. They got pretty close and they kept in touch. So once Zach went to LSU, knowing I was the biggest LSU fan in the world, my dad, of course, had his friend have Zach text me on my drive from Albuquerque to my very first LSU game. This was a few years ago. This was, I think, Zach's last year with LSU, and we watched him play against South Carolina. So we texted the whole drive up there how he was going to meet me and my friend and show us around campus on Sunday, the day after the game. He seemed like a decent guy, and I was pretty sure it was going to be a great opportunity to get to meet somebody I've idolized for a long time, his whole college career. Unfortunately, Zach Mettenberger, you know, they had a big win against South Carolina. They went out, they celebrated. Whatever happened, Zach never texted me back on Sunday. Of course, I was just heartbroken, so sad. But the best part about this story, a couple weeks later, LSU is getting ready to play Alabama. Zach Mettenberger's phone number got leaked to some Alabama fans. Now, I remember very, 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 very well that somebody from LSU contacted my dad's friend and had my dad's friend contact me, telling me that if I had leaked Zach's number, it was going to be a big issue. For the record, it wasn't me. I didn't leak Zach's number. I was excited to even have that number, let alone leak it. So, very much to my dismay, Zach and I are no longer friends, but I have nothing but respect for the kid, and hopefully he does great things with the Chargers.
Hopefully he does. You got to be careful with your phone numbers, ladies and gentlemen, particularly in college football rivalries. They do not play. If you remember watching on the Mothership, they had a 30 for 30 about players finding out which hotels guys were playing in, calling them up and intimidating them. I'm sure fans, SEC fans, Bama, LSU fans, take it a million degrees further.
Oh, yes.
Interesting
for
story.
Sure.
Well, Zach, we're rooting for you. Hey, if you make the squad and you end up being the starter, why don't you send Kimberly some tickets so we can go check them out?
We'll come check you out. We'll come watch.
That's right. Go Chargers. For now.
For now.
That's it from the Players Club. Coming up, we've got a debate on the U Sports Report. Should college football playoffs expand to 8 teams instead of the current 4 that they have? Find out more on the U Sports Report.